Hey everyone, and welcome. Have you ever glanced at the long list of ingredients on your toothpaste and just thought, there's got to be a simpler, more natural way to do this, right? Well, if that's you, you are in exactly the right place. Today, we're going to dive into how two super simple things you probably already have in your kitchen, coconut oil and baking soda, can help you get a healthier, brighter smile, all done safely and, really effectively. So here's what we're going to cover. First, we'll touch on why so many people are looking for natural oral care in the first place. Then we'll get up close and personal with our 2-star ingredients and the science that makes them work. After that, I'll walk you through, step by step, how to make your own whitening toothpaste and explain the ancient practice of oil pulling. And finally, we'll wrap things up with some really important best practices to make sure you get awesome and safe results. Let's get started.
Okay, so first up, let's talk about the why behind all this. There's this huge search going on for a more natural path to oral health. And look, this isn't about throwing modern dentistry out the window, not at all. It's really about finding gentle, effective ways to support our daily routine and maybe cut back on some of the harsh chemicals we're exposed to.
So, does this question hit home for you? Maybe you're looking for a way to gently whiten your teeth without those intense bleaching agents. Or maybe you just want to get a handle on the bad bacteria in your mouth that can cause things like bad breath and plaque. Well, the good news is nature has given us a really powerful solution, and we're about to jump right into it.
All right, let's get into the science of it all. In this section, we're going to meet our star ingredients, and we'll break down exactly what makes them such a dynamic duo for our mouths. What's so cool about this combination is how perfectly these two work together. I mean, think of coconut oil as your gentle but tough bacteria fighter. It really gets to the root cause of a lot of oral health problems. And then, at the same time, you've got baking soda acting as the stain remover and the acid neutralizer, working to brighten up your smile and protect that precious enamel.
So let's kick things off with our first hero ingredient, coconut oil. We all know it's famous for its natural antibacterial properties, but let's take a look at how it actually works inside our mouths. The magic of coconut oil really comes down to this thing called lauric acid. It's a fatty acid, and it is incredibly good at fighting the bad bacteria in our mouths, especially one troublemaker called Streptococcus mutans. Now that's the main culprit behind plaque and cavities. But coconut oil doesn't stop there. It also helps soothe sore or inflamed gums and helps keep your oral microbiome in balance. That's just the community of good bacteria you want in your mouth to protect you from the bad stuff.
So, to put it simply, lauric acid is the secret weapon here. It's the active compound doing all the heavy lifting. When you're using coconut oil for your oral care, you're basically sending in this powerful natural agent to break down the harmful bacteria that can cause so many issues down the line.
Okay, now let's shift gears to our second star ingredient, baking soda, or as it's scientifically known, sodium bicarbonate. And trust me, this stuff is way more than just something you use for baking.
Baking soda works in two really key ways. First, it's a super mild abrasive, which means it can gently polish away those surface stains from things like coffee or tea, giving you a brighter smile. But its real superpower? It's alkaline. This means it neutralizes the damaging acids that bacteria produce in your mouth, and that helps protect your tooth enamel from wearing away. This neutralizing effect is just crucial for preventing cavities and sensitivity.
All right, we've covered the science. Now for the fun, hands-on part. In this third section, I'm going to show you how to whip up your very own simple and seriously effective DIY whitening toothpaste.
It honestly could not be easier. All you need is 1 tablespoon of coconut oil and 1 tablespoon of baking soda. You just mix them together in a little bowl until you get this smooth, consistent paste. Then, put a little pea-sized amount on your toothbrush and just brush gently for about 1 to 2 minutes. And that's it.
And hey, here's a pro tip to make your toothpaste even better. If you love that fresh, minty feeling, just add a single drop of food-grade peppermint essential oil to your mix. Not only does it make it taste great, but peppermint also has its own natural antimicrobial properties. So you're getting an extra kick in fighting bacteria and leaving your breath feeling incredibly fresh.
Okay, so to go along with our DIY toothpaste, let's explore an ancient practice that's become super popular again, the oil pulling technique.
Now, for anyone who hasn't heard of this, oil pulling comes from traditional Ayurvedic medicine. The idea is simple but pretty powerful. You swish oil around in your mouth to pull out, or kind of trap, bacteria and other gunk, which can really give your overall oral hygiene a major boost. So here's how you do it right. You take about 1 tablespoon of coconut oil and you just gently swish it around your mouth. Think of it like a really slow, gentle rinse, not a crazy vigorous gargle. Try to go for about 10 minutes. Now, it's really, really important that you don't swallow the oil. And when you're done, spit it out into a trash can. I have to stress this part. Never, ever spit it in the sink because that oil can harden and will clog up your pipes.
All right, we've reached our last and honestly probably our most important section. Let's talk about the best practices to make sure you're using these natural methods safely and getting the absolute best results from them.
The absolute key here is moderation, especially with that baking soda toothpaste. Because baking soda is a mild abrasive, you definitely don't want to overdo it. Using this DIY paste 2 to 3 times a week seems to be the sweet spot. You get all the whitening and cleaning benefits without being too harsh on your enamel.
And here are just a few final reminders to keep in your back pocket. Always brush gently. The goal here is to clean your teeth, not scrub them into oblivion. Remember, that used oil goes in the trash, not down the drain. And finally, and please remember this, these natural methods are fantastic for supporting your oral health, but they are meant to complement, not replace your regular checkups with your dentist. So to bring this all home, what we have here is this powerful synergistic duo. The lauric acid and the coconut oil is in there fighting bacteria and reducing plaque, while the baking soda gently buffs away stains and neutralizes those harmful acids. When you put them together, you get this incredible natural powerhouse for freshening your breath, brightening your smile, and just supporting your overall oral health.
So, we've walked through the science and the super simple practical steps you can take to get more control over your oral care in a natural way. The only question left is for you. Are you ready to harness the simple but powerful forces of nature for your own healthier, brighter smile? Thanks so much for joining me.